Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my vlog. It is a travel vlog. I am so excited. I am going on a cruise, but to start off, we are in Barcelona today. So I flew out last night from Toronto and I got to Barcelona this morning at like 9 a.m. I don't love a red-eye flight. I was able to sleep like 3 hours last night. Not very good sleep, probably because the night before I'd gone to a concert and didn't get a lot of sleep, so it was kind of 2 nights in a row, not a lot of sleep. So I'd come back to my room and just had a nap. But yeah, I got in this morning at 9. By the time I made it to my hotel, it was quickly changed. It was like 11. So I stopped and got chai latte, a little croissant to like regroup before going on a little walk. We walked over to the Barcelona Cathedral, which I didn't go in because I'm planning to go in a lot of cathedrals this week. So I was like, I don't think I need to do this one for $16. But I did that and kind of walked around the Gothic Quarter. We already got something. There were so many nice little cute stores, so I was very tempted by a lot of stuff, but I got these cute little Christmas decorations for my mom, and I also got my Barcelona pin because if you haven't seen, I wear a jean jacket and I have pins to all of the places I've been, so I got my Barcelona pin. So we did that, and then I went over to this market. I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it up here. I saw a lot of people talk about this market before. It's a really good place to get some like snacks and lunch, and all of the vendors are set up that way that you just like, they sell the pre-packaged snacks basically, kind of like tapas snacks. I got like a little ham and cheese cone, and then I got a little mini paella, and then I got some fruit. It was a pretty nice market. It was very busy, but also it was like noon on a Saturday. I will say the Porto market that I went to last year was the best. I did that and then I walked back to my hotel. Like I said, I needed a nap, I needed a break. I'd already done like 10,000 steps at that point. I was tired, but I had my nap, feeling more refreshed. I guess I should do a little room tour, but this is basically the room. I got my bed, the bathroom's right there, and the sink is literally right beside me. It is a very small room. The rooms in Barcelona were definitely expensive. I was like, you know what, I'm only here for one night, so this is like a little early. Actually, to be fair, this bed's a decent size. It's probably like a double bed. And I'm trying to decide what to do next. It is so nice outside today. I did not realize it, but it's very humid here. So even though it's like 21 degrees, it is very hot and sweaty. So I was thinking of going down to the beach, not necessarily to like tan, but just like sit by the water, sit in a restaurant, have a drink and read and stuff like that. So in Barcelona, they're known for the really big church, Sagrada de Familia. A lot of people recommended to like go do the tour, but they were fully booked up of tours from when I was here. So instead, I'm gonna try and go to mass and see if I can get in that way to be able to at least see the church. So Saturday night they have a mass at 8 p.m. So I'm trying to debate, do I want to go to that tonight or go to the beach, because they're opposite directions. And also 8 p.m. is such an awkward time because I probably want to get there around like 7:30, and that's kind of like dinner time, especially because like here in Barcelona we eat very late. So I think I've made the decision that I want to go to the beach, and then I'll try and go tomorrow morning to mass. Anyways, so that's kind of where we're at. So I'm gonna freshen up. Okay, that's where we're at. Friends, please ignore the mess behind me. Last night, to narrate what I actually did, I went down to the beach. It was so busy. I guess everyone had the same idea as me. I sat on a little beach patio, a little drink and snack. Then after that, I made the decision to like completely switch around my plans. So I went and I watched Formula 1. I was Googling, I found an Irish pub. It was funny because all the people in the pub were British that were watching the Formula 1 sprint race. And after that, I decided in Barcelona, Gaudi, I believe that's how we say his name, is like the world-renowned architect who has done a lot of work here. So some of the big things to go see are the two like casas. I don't know why I say casas. Casa is just Spanish for house. 2 of the buildings that he built. I think that's the elevator. I heard all night. Some people say that if you have the time, it's nice to go inside them, but I just decided to walk outside them. And it was a long walk. It was half an hour walk, but it was probably good for me. So I walked to those, and then I walked over, had a little bit of a late dinner, and by late I mean like by my standards, because it was like 8:30, which was like normal for Barcelona time. So I just had a couple tapas because I wasn't starving, but I knew I needed something, and then I came home. Now we're up. I got dressed. I washed my face, but I didn't do my makeup just because I really have the time and the lighting's not very good, because we're trying to go to Sunday morning mass. So the hotel has some like tea and pastry, so I'm gonna go grab one of those, walk over to the church. I have not decided. I mean, first of all, I don't even know if I'm gonna get in. I don't know how busy it is. I don't think I'm actually gonna stay for the mass. I just want to like see inside. Then I want to have brunch, because there's a couple of really nice brunch prices. We're gonna come back here. I'm gonna finish getting ready, pack up my suitcase, check out because there's a locker, and then we're gonna go from there. So let's go do that. Okay, we checked out of the hotel. Now we're heading over to a little market. Finally made it into the room. I think it's like 4:30. I got here early and I still had to wait a while to check in. And then it took me forever to find my room and the card wasn't working, but we're here now, so let's do the room tour. So you walk in and we're greeted by the mirror. Hi, hello. Here's my tiny little bathroom. Okay, then we got my bed, which this thing is so funny, this plastic thing. Closet over there. We got a couch, we got the Dustin TV, and then here is the balcony. See if I can figure out how to open it. Nope. Okay, give me a second. Let's figure this out. Okay, she's finally open. Here we go. It's my little deck. Here's a beautiful view of the port. Oh my god, that took so much time. I wanted to mention this before I forget. I got upgraded to this room, by the way, because if you know anything about cruise trips, the balcony is expensive and I did not pay for it. I was originally gonna get like the cheapest room with no window, and then literally as I was about to book it, it sold out. So I decided to upgrade to the one with a window and drop a day from my trip because I was gonna spend an extra day in Barcelona. I originally got the room with a window, and then when I did my check-in, I got upgraded. So yes, I'm very fortunate. I'm gonna be so excited to have this balcony. I also am so confused as to when dinner is because they didn't say anything. So anyways, I'm gonna put a couple of things away like in my safe, and then I'm gonna go explore. Okay, we're back in my room. So I left my room for like 20 minutes until I realized I had to come back to my room to do the safety video. They showed us the video on the TV, and you call a number and you go, and you need to, they like scan your card to like show, yeah, you did it, you know where to go if there's an emergency. So for the fact that it took maybe 15 minutes tops, and they shut down everything for an hour, so you can't go to a lot of the place. Like, you can walk, some places are open, some places are closed, you can't get any food and drink. So I should have tried and gone all the way upstairs to my room, but I didn't. Instead I tried to wander around, and I got to a point where I was like, well, I kind of want to drink now, and also the elevators are completely closed during this time. And you know where I had to go? I had to go to floor 7. You know where my room is? 14. I wasn't gonna climb all those stairs, so it took a while, but I got myself a little margarita. And I wanted to show you quickly, I got 2 things today at the grocery store. Because if you know me, getting snacks and going to grocery stores, different countries is my favorite. So we got this Blaze Mediterranean. This is one of the things that they recommended. I could not tell you what makes it so special about this Mediterranean, but it is. And then this is the other thing I got, which I might actually not open because my mom loves palmiers. I actually got one earlier at a store. She said how you pronounce it in Spanish, and I forget, palmeras or something like that. They're in Spain too, but they are known in France. There's these cookies. I actually made them at Christmas time. They're some of my mom's favorites, so I might not open these. We'll see. Yeah, I want a couple of chips and a little package. Ooh, they smell good. They're like crispier than a normal Lay's. My Spanish isn't the greatest, but I'm going to assume that this just means that it was cooked with olive oil. Which I will say that I was kind of surprised. There's actually a decent amount of people that don't speak very good English. They all know like a couple of words, but a lot of service people just didn't really speak the best English. Because you always say like, oh, when you're in tourist areas, everyone will speak English. And yeah, the fact that I have a very basic sense of Spanish has been very helpful. Anyways, I'm gonna have a couple chips. I'm gonna have my drink. The dining times are so annoying. They're 6 and 8, and I'm like a 7 o'clock girly. I think I'm supposed to be late dining anyways. Okay, this is my one complaint, is that MSC doesn't really give you a lot of information. I've kind of just been like figuring stuff out as I go. But from my understanding, I think I can go at any time. Or I could go to the buffet at any time, but I'm not much of a buffet girly. I'd rather check out the actual sit-down places. So, sit-down's at 8, and it's like 6 now. I think I hear the horn. I think we're like deboarding, or we're leaving port soon. Anyways, so this gives me a little bit of time to just refresh because I feel gross and sweaty. I'm gonna have like a quick body shower, get dressed, do my makeup, unpack, so I'm kind of ready to go for dinner around 8. And then I did go to the sports bar, and they are showing the Formula 1 race, so I'm gonna go there and watch it, which means it'll be a little bit of a late night because usually the races are like an hour and a half, and it starts at 10, and I wanted to get up early tomorrow, but it is what it is. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, here's a little look at the OOTD. My top does not want to stay. I usually use a safety pin when I'm at home, but I don't have one, so I'm trying to use a little paper clip, and it's not doing a very good job. I know it's gonna slip, but at least I'm wearing a nude bra underneath. I've had this dress for a while. It's from Winners. My parents actually got me this bag. Very cute, and I'm wearing these. Can you see them? Just brown flats to match the bag. Yeah, let's go get some dinner. I want to go there. I have to go all the way up these stairs. I'm so out of breath. I can't believe this is the way Google Maps took me. It's definitely not the usual way. I think it just gave me another method, but yeah. You can't see around the corner. All the stairs. I have more to go. My knee was already hurting this morning. But I mean, the view. The view is gonna be gorgeous. I was not designed to climb these type of stairs. Hello friends. Thought we would have a little nice sit chit chat. Please excuse the mess behind me. After this, I'm probably gonna clean up a little bit. So I haven't talked to you since last night. Let me give you a little update of the last couple of hours. Last like almost day. Went to dinner. I wish I brought my book to get dinner. This is my problem, is I bring my book places and then I don't read it, and then I don't bring my book and then I wish I brought it. Sometimes I don't mind eating alone, but at dinner I really felt it because there was like most people were eating with other people, versus I find sometimes when you're at restaurants during the day there's lots of people eating alone. But anyways, had dinner, then I came back to my room and I changed because, like I said, I think I said this yesterday, my dress was being a pain and I did not want to go to a sports bar wearing that dress. I went to the sports bar and I watched the Formula 1. It was actually great. I met a lot of people there, and the second half I barely even watched because I was so busy talking. I spent a lot of the time talking to this one girl from Ireland who's like close to my age and stuff, so that was really nice. And yeah, we actually ended up just like staying and chatting almost for an hour after the race was done. So I was very tired because I decided to come back and having a shower. I was just feeling a little wired, so I think it was like after 1 o'clock that I finally went to bed, and here I was like barely able to stay awake for dinner. You know, sometimes you just get a second wind. I also did have a cup of tea at dinner because I was feeling tired, so that might have also been it. This morning, I'd originally wanted to like get up and disembark as soon as possible, but it didn't happen. Technically, it was like said we arrived at port at 7. And I probably left my room around 8:30, which isn't bad. I looked on Google Maps like how to get there, because like with these big cruise ships, you don't just park right at the like port of the city. You have to not park. Did I say park? You need to dock a little further out into an area that's like deep enough for the big ships. It would have been a stupid walk, so I knew I wasn't gonna walk. It was gonna be the bus or a taxi, and I didn't want to pay for a taxi. So I was looking at Google Maps, and there was a free bus, and then there was like a city bus. Free bus was like you had to wait, so like it came in every 35 minutes, and I didn't know when it was going to come. So I was like, oh, let me just go to the city bus, because the city bus is like not even $2 or something like that. So I walk over, and then yeah, I had to sit around and wait, I think almost for 15 minutes for the bus to show up. So I like hauled my ass, and then I ended up waiting. So I should have looked at it before so I could have timed it, so I wasn't like waiting around the bus stop. So I'll definitely do that tomorrow, of like figure out how to get to a port and time that out better. So that was oopsies number 1. So then I got into the city, and the first thing I wanted to do was go up. It's Notre-Dame à la Gare, I think is the name of the church, all the way at the top. I wanted to go up to that. Put in Google Maps how to get there from the bus stop, like once it dropped me off in the city center. Because like that is, by the way, if you're curious how I get around in places, I just put my faith in Google Maps. And Google Maps today, it was an oopsies. This cathedral, why it's so special is because it's at the very top of the city, so you get really good views. So there's 2 different bus routes, and one I knew it sounded familiar from when I had done some research online, and the other one didn't, but it said it would take you to the same spot. You just had to like walk a little bit afterwards, and it was sooner and closer. So I was like, okay, sure, we'll do that. Well, what I didn't realize is that they drop you off. There's like a front and back to it. So the one bus line takes you all the way up to the front. This other one dropped me off at the back, at the bottom of the hill. So I had to climb all the stairs up. I mentioned that earlier. I was so gassed by the time I got to the top, but it was beautiful up there, and it was free to go in and everything like that, so that was amazing. Then I took the bus down, and I got a croissant because the buffet breakfast was not that amazing this morning. I think they also have like a seated breakfast, so I think I'm gonna try and go to that tomorrow instead. So I was starving, so I got a croissant. It was delicious. And then I walked over to the other cathedral I wanted to see, which is like right down by the water. That one was also free to see, so you know, I always like looking at pretty churches. I always, you know, go in, sit for a couple of minutes and stuff. And then I walked over, there is a big shopping mall. I don't remember the name. I'm gonna have to put it up. When I had done my research, I was like, what is the biggest like pharmacy in Marseille? And that was the one that they had recommended, and it was nice. It was a big shopping mall. Also, I was just very paranoid about missing. I forget the word. I was very paranoid about missing the bus, the call. I don't know. I was very paranoid about missing it, so I wanted to give myself a lot of extra time to come back. Also being mindful that like I had a really late night and I was getting up early, so I was like, you know what, there's nothing wrong with coming back a little bit earlier and just chilling out for a bit, which I did. I got back about like, I think there's no clocks, I don't know what time it is, I think about an hour ago, and just like chilled out. I got like a little sweet treat. Well, I got an apple. I was gonna name my fruit first. Little treats, and then I got a cup of tea because I need my afternoon caffeine. So I did that and sat for a bit, and now I'm gonna do my haul. But yeah, oh, I also had lunch in the mall. They had this like nice seafood place because that's what I really wanted. I really wanted mussels. Hopefully they have some on the menu tonight for dinner. But instead I got this like seafood appetizer platter, and it was delicious. There was this grandma who was sitting by herself at a table over, and I'm like, I want to be like her when I'm older. She was sitting by herself. She had a plate of oysters and a glass of champagne for lunch. I'm like, that's a vibe. Okay, let's get into this haul. So I went to, it was literally like the pharmacy and Para Pharmacy. Couldn't tell you the difference. So I went there. I also went to this place beside it too. It was called Normal, or at least I think that's what it was called, to get 2 other things. I need more conditioner because I didn't realize that my little conditioner that I brought is almost empty. And this was like $3. Sorry, my Octobuddy fell. Yeah, this was $3. And then I also got some under eye patches because the girl has been tired and she needs them. And these were pretty cheap too. I think they were like $5 for a pack of 30. And I will bring these home. I did a lot of research beforehand. All of this stuff that I bought, most of it you can get in Canada, but it's either formulated different or it's cheaper, even with the conversion, to buy it in France than it is at home. I'm not going to show you everything. I got some stuff for my mom, which I'll show you, but I got some stuff for some other friends, which I don't want to show because I don't want to spoil it for them. Oh, this is also not skincare related, but I got Boqueria gel because your girl is achy. Starting off, I took this out of the package, but this is an Emberlise Le Crème Concentré. This one, everyone talks about this online. That's like the best moisturizer, really good for priming your makeup. Actually, my skin has been pretty dry this week, so hopefully that's not like too thick, but I'm excited to try that. And then I also got the La Roche-Posay and Thelios sunscreen because everyone talks about it. Sunscreen is different than in Canada. It's like made with different ingredients and stuff like that, so I'm excited to try it. Some of the other La Roche-Posay stuff I got from my mom. I got her the Cicaplast balm. It's just supposed to be a really good balm, like restorative balm and stuff, so I think she'll really like this. And then I also got her this eye cream. I was very surprised they didn't have a lot of eye creams. I was looking for a Caudalie one specifically, but this will work too. This is eye serum anti-wrinkle concentrate. Wrinkles, loss of elasticity, tired eyes, dark circles. She would hate that I'm buying this for her, but. And then the other thing I got her is this little Caudalie lip conditioner because this was like $2. And then I also got, this is for me, I already took it out of the package. I got some Nukes. I got some of their lip balms. I'm keeping this sweet lemon one for themselves. And then I also got their body oil. I've seen this back home for sure too. This is their multi-purpose dry oil, face, body, hair. So that is everything that I got. Like I said, I want to tidy up my bed. That's not my bed, the couch behind me, so I can actually sit on the couch. It's just the clothes I wear the past couple days. I need to like either put them in the dirty laundry pile or put them somewhere else to be worn again, and then we're gonna go from there. The guy told me last night at dinner that I should come at 6 o'clock. I don't really want to be having dinner at 6 o'clock, but I might ask him tonight if there's any way I can eat at 8 the rest of the week. It's just like, it's a little early for me. I would love it if it was 7, but there's no 7 o'clock option. But anyways, that's where we're at. I'm gonna tidy. We'll see what time it is after that. I'm really sad because the sun is not facing my balcony. Normally I would just sit out there and read, but I wouldn't. And it's not super warm today. It's only like 15, 16. So I don't know. We'll see what time it is. Maybe I go find a deck spot that's like facing the sun and sit and read for a bit, or if not, hang out here and get ready for dinner. I didn't really do a full face of makeup. I kind of just like put a little bit of concealer. Also got a back pimple there. This is gonna be such a long vlog because I literally have been chatting for like 14 minutes so far. I'll talk to you later. Hello, sorry if the background noise is annoying. I felt like having the window open for a little bit. Yes, I'm doing like just a little bit of makeup. I've honestly been rocking the like no makeup look during the day because besides this one pimple, my skin has been looking really great. And then that way I'm not having to do my makeup twice or having to rock the same makeup like all day. I kind of just do it when I get back. I'll be honest, last night was a little hard. I mean, honestly, it wasn't too bad. I had dinner and then I was kind of bopping around a couple of different spots reading. It was when I was trying to just find some young people. I have no idea where to congregate, it seems. And I was walking through, they have like an arcade, games, bowling alley area. And I just like, that's when I got hit with the feels. I was like, oh, you know, it is kind of lonely. A lot of people on this ship are like with people. I find it's fine during the day because like you're in town and there's lots of people who are by themselves, but on the boat most people are with other people. You know, it's just hard when you see all these families and stuff and you're sitting by yourself. And also I'm very surprised, but a lot of people don't speak English. Also, I don't know what it is, but everyone assumes that I speak English. Do I give off like North American vibes? They're always like English when they ask for like when I want the menu or something like that. I'm like, yeah, how do you know? But anyways, yeah, I'm just like I had a little bit of a cry, so I'm a little puffy this morning. I used my under eye mask, but I don't really think I want to do anything else. It's also raining, which really sucks. Yeah, the weather kind of got more cold and rainy than I had anticipated. And the hard thing about like the cold's easy, but it's the rain. Like I don't want to wear a dress in the rain. Okay, anyway, here's my like super quick makeup. I literally just did my brows and put on some lip gloss. I'll show you the view. It's like not as nice as yesterday was. Also, yeah, it started to rain, which isn't fun, but let me show you that and I'll show you my outfit. Here's the view. I mean, the pretty buildings, but yeah, you got the highway right there, so it's a little loud. Okay. Oh, you can see my phone stand. This has been so handy, by the way. Oh, maybe I want to add my belt, but I'm wearing silver jewelry. Anyways, here's my outfit. I was originally going to wear these with my jeans when I planned it. I wore my jeans yesterday. I didn't want to double wear the jeans, and I think this still works. I was originally thinking I was going to wear my white pants either yesterday or today, but because of the rain, I don't want to wear white pants, so we're going with my trousers, but I'm also going to pack and wear my rain jacket. So anyways, let's go. Hello, ignore the laundry pile. I'm back in my room. I just lay down and stretch for a bit. Now I did a little bit of an outfit change because hair's a mess. I was like, perfect time to wear my Leafs hat, especially because I have a game today, and I put on my comfy jeans. Yeah, I realized I still haven't been up to the very tip-top floors of the boat. So I was like, you know, now's the perfect time to go explore. And then I'm gonna go get a cup of tea and come back, I think. I don't know, I'm still figuring out what I want to do afternoon because it is like, it's 3:30 now, I think. I forgot to look at the time. I have a bit of time this afternoon, and I definitely know I want to wash my hair and have a shower before dinner, but we still got a little bit of time. So anyways, we're gonna go do a little bit of exploring. Guys, I'm so excited. I just realized, look, I didn't realize there was 2 different types of outlets. I was just plugging in my portable charger so I can use my curling iron. I had such bad hair the past 2 days and I was too scared to use my curling iron, but now that I know I can use it, yes. I just washed my hair, so I don't have to worry about it too much tonight. Well, except for the fact that it's still kind of wet, but it's really exciting for the rest of the trip. Okay, let's have a little chit chat update of the day. I was gonna get ready and do this, but then I was like, let me just focus on getting ready because I was trying to steam my dress and also dress I'm gonna wear tomorrow. So recap of the day, it started out gross and raining, which is why I wore my pants like I mentioned, but it ended up turning out to be a beautiful 20 degrees, which was lovely. So I started my day going over to Piazza De Ferrari, and I remember the name just because it has Ferrari in it. So I went to that. It was just like a square. Oh, there's this boat. I think the boat, I can see it in the like mirror beside. I think this was just starting because I can see all these people on the deck, so I think they were doing their send-off party. Yes, I went to the square. There's not really much to do at the square. You just look at the square, and then I walked over to the church because I was joking with my parents, when you're in Europe you basically see castles and churches, and that is exactly what I did today because I went to the church. This one was free. It was really pretty to look at. And then I was a little hungry just because I didn't eat a lot of carbs. When the guy was bringing around the bread, the waiter was also talking to me, and I was just like, yeah. So I didn't end up getting a lot of bread. Anyways, that's all to say, I stopped and I had a little cookie. They're called canestrelli. I think that's how you pronounce it. So I had one of those. It's basically just like a sugar butter cookie biscuit and a cappuccino, because I was like, one in Rome, even though technically we're in Genoa today. I just got a decaffeinated one though. So I had a little sit down, did that, and then I went up. So one of the things that Genoa is known for are their palazios. I think that's what the word is. Palaces. So if you don't know much about Italian history, Italy was like a bunch of city-states. So the city-state of Genoa, basically they had all of these merchants and they built these houses, and then they also had it so when other dignitaries from other city-states would come to Genoa, they would stay in these really nice houses. So there's like couple blocks of like a bunch of them, and then there's two of them, Palazzo Rosso and Bianco. Those are like the two biggest ones. So they are turned into museums, and this is a really good price. For €9 you got to go to both of them, and I think the other ones you can go to for free, but they're not as big as nights. So I walked around the two of them. I did Bianco first, and then I did Rosso afterwards, and Rosso was a little more like tired. I was starting to get a little hangry, so I wasn't in there as long, but it was really nice. I would kind of like wander and then sit and look at the artwork. A lot of it is artwork. They're like public galleries, but there's also some history and some other stuff too. I will say a lot of the art is like religious in nature. Not my necessarily favorite subject matter, but it was very pretty buildings and architecture too, if you like that stuff. So I did that. And then as I was leaving, I literally like stopped and I was trying to look for like a restaurant for lunch, and I looked up and I saw this beautiful little alleyway restaurant, and I looked on the reviews and they were really good. So I went in, and the reviews even said like there was a lot of like locals who go to this restaurant, and it was amazing. I will say, didn't speak the greatest English. One girl spoke no English at all, so it took her until the other one was available to come over and help me. But I had the pesto gnocchi, and I'm not a big gnocchi person. I just don't really like the texture, but this was so soft, and like they're known for the pesto here. It was so fresh, and it was so cute because it was like an old man who was running it. So I was like, in my head I was like, oh, it's no, he's running his restaurant, except for he didn't really do much. He would sit with all of the Italian locals and like chat with them while they ate, and then he would go over and sit with someone else. But it was an amazing lunch. Then I went over and I got some gelato afterwards, because you know me, I need a sweet treat, and especially when you're in Italy you have gelato. And then I went to the grocery store because I love getting some snacks. This is why I was looking over. I got some of these cookies, the canestrelli Antica Genova. They're like known for these. They're just like a little flower shaped sugar cookie. So those I'll probably keep to take home, but these I will probably eat because there's only 6 of them, or 6 packs of 2. When I was looking of good snacks to get in Italy, this brand, the Mulino Bianco, was a recommended one, and these ones are like chocolate on one side, cookie on the other. But I thought these were good to like have as a snack if I want a sweet treat here. And then I also got tea. Apparently black tea is not really a thing on this boat. Today when I wanted one, I literally had to go on like a whole entire like chase to be able to find it, because they just have like herbal teas, and in the afternoon I need to get caffeinated, and I'm not a big coffee person. So I just bought my own pack of tea, and that way I can go to the hot water and milk and then have my cup of tea. So I had my cup of tea and it came back, and then like I said, the weather just like turned and it was beautiful. So I was actually sitting outside and tanning for a little bit and reading my book. I was having some of my chips. I got myself a drink. I got a Long Island iced tea, and then I happened to spill most of it, so I didn't really have much of my drink. But yeah, I just had a really nice afternoon. I came back here pretty early. Well, I was out in the city for 5 hours, which I actually think is pretty good, because I left like early in the morning. And that's why I've discovered that I'd rather just like get up, go in the morning, and then come back and chill a little bit more in the afternoon, instead of like sleeping in and then worrying, oh, do I have enough time to see everything I want to see? So that's what I did. And then I got ready for dinner, and I probably should go soon, because technically you're supposed to be there from 6 to 6:15. And I was like asking the boss man, I was like, can I come at the 8 o'clock time slot? He was like, no. He was like, but you can come at 6:30. So I was like, okay. So Anyways, we're gonna go do that. And tonight I booked the theater because I was like, I need to do something at night. I can't just sit. But I'm gonna go to the Tina Turner show. That's a show that they have in the theater. I was like, I know some Tina Turner songs, so we'll see how that goes. So anyways, let's go enjoy the evening. Okay, I'll do a proper recap later, but I have to get to my dinner. But it is white night. My mom was so cute. She bought me the little pearl necklace and bracelet to go along with the outfit. And these are my mom's white shoes that I borrowed. Okay, let's go to dinner, enjoy a little bit of the night, and like I said, I will give you a recap at some point today. Hello, I'm holding the camera right in front of the sun. Sorry for the weird lines. I came back to my room to change my shoes because the white shoes are very cute for the fit, but they're not very comfy for the feet. Today was a great day. Oh wow. I can see all these seagulls dancing around outside. I was up early to go to my little food tour, and it was so funny. It was me and these two older ladies that I would describe as like grandmas. Like one of them I think is literally a grandmother. Their children are older and stuff. I think even older than my parents. So yeah, it was the three of us and a tour guide, and we had a great time. It was like, the guy also gave us history. I'm gonna go inside, this is so annoying. You can see my shadow, but I'm holding the phone with two hands. It's more comfortable that way. The tour guide gave us a little bit of history and a tour of the whole entire city. So we were in Civitavecchia. I finally learned how to say that word, the name of the city, which is a port city for Rome. It's like where all the cruise ships stop because it's the biggest port. So I've already been to Rome, and it's about an hour train or drive to get there, and I was like, I don't need to spend 2 hours going somewhere I've already been. On top of that all, the conclave started today, so if you're going to the Vatican you wouldn't see anything, and the city in general was just going to be really crowded, so I'm very happy with that decision. We did our little food tour, we walked around a little bit. First stop we got cappuccinos and croissant, then we kept on walking. We went to the local market. I didn't really get a lot of video clips just because I felt a little awkward around the old ladies. We stopped and we've got some cheeses and some meats like salamis, mortadella, all that fun stuff, and we also had some pizza as well. They're like Roman style, so it's a thinner crust. And then we did a little bit more walking and got some gelato, and then went back to the seafront, and then also stopped at the main church, which is like not as pretty as some of the other big churches in Europe. And that was our tour. It was like 3 hours. So I stayed in the town for a little bit. It was actually really sad. The beach was closed because they were renovating it a little bit, but they had like a waterfront. So I sat there for a little bit before coming back to the boat. And it was actually a pretty warm day. It was supposed to rain and it didn't. So I was really happy about that. When you're in the sun and it wasn't windy, it was warm. When you weren't in the sun, or if there was a strong wind, then it was a little cold. So I put on my bathing suit, but I didn't end up taking my cover-up dress off. But I did get a little bit of sun. You can see like on my chest and also on my cheeks and nose. I got a little bit of sun today. But yeah, I did that for a little bit. I finished my book. I got a rum and coke and came back to my room because a bunch of people onboarded today. Embarked today, and there's people who disembarked, so they did the same safety drill that I did on the first day. So I didn't want to be like out and about when they were doing all of that stuff, so I got my drink before because they closed all the services during it. So I got my drink before, came back to my room, got ready. I filmed like a TikTok not speaking because originally my plan was to speak, and then I realized I can't speak. There's like announcements going on the whole entire time saying like, oh, do this safety thing, go here, and all this stuff. So yeah, I did that little get ready with me, and here we are now. Like I mentioned, it is white night tonight. We have a bunch of different stuff going on, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. I saw that they're doing like a little salsa dance, which I think would be fun. I remember last time the dance class was mainly old people, and I feel like that's my crowd today, so that might be fun. I have like a white night DJ. I think there's another soccer game on tonight, so either way, that's why I came and put on more comfy shoes, just so I was more comfortable for the evening's activities. And tomorrow is a day at sea, so I don't have to wake up early, which is really exciting. Also on the day after, when we're in Palma, I don't have to wake up early because my tour doesn't start until 10. So yeah, good day all around. Tonight I can finally like really sleep in. I've been good. I've been getting like 7 to 8 hours every single night, but I haven't like fully rested. Okay, anyways, let's go explore, have some fun. Hello. I realized we didn't chit chat yesterday, so let me give you an update of yesterday and today. Please excuse all the crap behind me. Yesterday we were at sea, so it was a pretty chill day. I slept in a little bit, and by that I mean like I think I got up at like 8:39, so I missed the sit down breakfast, so I had the buffet instead. And then I went and sat on one of the upper decks. They have like a big pool and deck chairs and stuff, so I sat there for a little bit before lunch. It was kind of a little chilly, so I kept on my dress and I kind of just like had my legs bare, but I covered the top half just because it was a little too cold. And then it was bingo, and I did bingo. I did not win, but to be fair, it was not just a line, like it was the first person to cover their whole entire sheet, but they won $500, so lucky them. So I played bingo, and then after that I got lunch just in the buffet again because I didn't feel like changing out of my bathing suit into real clothes to sit down at the restaurant. And I also hadn't had the lunch buffet. I assume that dinner is like the exact same, so I was just curious what there was offering and stuff too. And then I sat in the sun again in the afternoon, just like read my book. It was very nice and relaxing. I will say though that by the end of the afternoon I was starting to feel tired, a little bit of a sore throat coming on. I'm not surprised. Usually I always get sick on trips, it seems, especially near the end when I'm all exhausted, and especially because yesterday was like a chill day. I think my body just like finally rested, and then it like hit. My immune system and defenses were down, and that's when the cold came in. So yeah, today it's just been very slow. I think the bike tour was actually good for me. So we're in Mallorca and it is beautiful. I will show you the view, but my room is facing the port, and the port is a half circle, so I can see like most of the big sights. And yeah, spoiler, today was probably one of my favorite days of the trips, and this is the first city where I was like, I need to come back here. So I did my biking tour. We're the only cruise ship here today, but everyone else on the biking tour were just like people visiting Mallorca. They weren't on the cruise, so it was fun to meet some new people. The shop is right near the cruise port, so we biked, it's about like half an hour into the historical city center, and we went to a bunch of the different sites. They're mainly churches. Classic Europe. And it was actually really cool. We stopped at one, and I have the cookies in there. So the guy was explaining that it was a monastery with a convent. There's nuns who live there, and historically and even through to today, it has been a tradition that when couples, before they get married, if they want to sorry, I'm just readjusting so this is more comfortable for me to hold, they would bring eggs, a dozen eggs, to the nuns as like an offering for them to pray, so they would have good weather for the wedding. You know, a dozen eggs for 12 months of the year. Eggs were a sign of fertility, so like a marriage and blessing and all that stuff. But because they would get so many eggs, they decided to open a bakery, and they still run it to this day. So we were able to go buy some baked goods from the nuns. So I have lots of cookies over there, almond cookies. They're delicious. So that was a really cool, fun little thing. So yeah, we went to a couple of different churches, stopped outside the Arab baths. The tour guide was explaining the history of Mallorca, that like there was indigenous people here first, and who actually like stayed throughout like the history of the islands and stuff. So they were like known to be really good like mercenaries. But so it was originally the like indigenous group, I can't remember the name, and then it was Arab run for over 300 years before the Spanish came in. Catalonia, so they speak Catalonian here like Barcelona, so they're more similar to Barcelona in culture than they are to the rest of Spain. And yeah, my Palma, which the city I'm in Mallorca, is the capital of like all of the neighboring islands. So yeah, so we did that, and then we like went to a couple different places, and then we went outside the big cathedral and the palace, and then we biked all the way up the hill to the castle, which is Castel Belvier, something like that. It just means like castle with a good view because it's on top, and I'll show you when I turn it around that it's on top. You can see like the whole entire harbor. I'm very thankful that we're using e-bikes, because even with an e-bike, the bike up was hard, but it was nice to get the like fresh air and everything. I will say it's been a while since I've ride a bike, so my ass is a little sore now. But yeah, we did that bike tour, and then we came back down, and then we were kind of near the port stop again, so I took a bus back to the main city because I wanted to go into the cathedral. The cathedral has a very long name, very beautiful, very worth it. You had to pay to get in, but wow, breathtaking. And it is known as being like in the top 5 of like Gothic cathedrals in Europe. It's beautiful because it has all the stained glass and everything, so that was really nice. There's a castle right beside it, and I don't remember how to pronounce the name. We also had to pay to go into that, and I didn't feel like paying for that. Instead I got gelato. So I did that, and then I kind of did half the walk back because it's all along the port. You can see all of the like sailboats and yachts and stuff, so I did half of it, and then I took a bus the other half of the way back. Now I'm back in my room. It's the final night. They have a little disembarkation meeting that I think I'm gonna try and go to before dinner, because I seem to be confused by everything, all of the procedures, so that might be helpful for me to understand. I think it's in about an hour, so I want to get ready and then go to dinner, the last dinner, and then probably just come back to my room and pack, just because a lot of the entertainment, I was like, it's something special. And also you're supposed to have your bag, like your big luggage bag, packed the night before so they can take it away. So yeah, I need to get organized because it's a mess in there. But that's the little update. I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you it, and I'm gonna film a TikTok get ready with me, because I haven't done a speaking one at all this trip. I decided to wait until the last night because I thought it was nice for me to do like a big summary of it. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, here's the view from my balcony, and it's crazy. It was supposed to rain, and it looks like it's raining up there in the mountains, but it didn't rain in the port. So starting over there, it's like he disembarked over there, and then that is a castle I was talking about that we went up to, Castle Belvier, something like that. And then this is kind of like the city, probably like newer developments, hotels and stuff like that. And then over there is an old city, so you can see that's the cathedral, and then right beside it is the castle where the King of Spain stays when he comes. And then it just keeps on going out. It's like I said, it's like a half circle. I feel like there's so many different things that I like didn't get to see. I mean, I could have tried, but I didn't feel like pushing myself. But also, like, I didn't go to any of the beaches, and like Mallorca is known for its beaches. I mean, it's a whole entire island. You can go to like the other towns and stuff too. But yeah, this is definitely like the first city where I'm just like, oh my god, I need to come back. I need a girls trip here to just like have fun and explore. And everyone has been so nice and lovely. So yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Okay, wait, I'm back. I forgot to tell you the most tragic thing that happened to me too. So I'm wearing white wide leg pants because it's a cute fit, and I planned it because a lot of like dresses and skirts to wear. I did have 2 pairs of pants, but I already wore both of them. I probably would have had the same issue anyways because they're both wide leg pants. I knew I wanted to wear pants today for biking, right, instead of a dress or skirt. But yes, because it's a wide leg, the leg of it got caught in the chain of the bike. Yeah, and it's white pants. There's now a rip, and there's some grease. There's some bike grease on my brand new white pants. First time I'm wearing them. And to top it all off, I spilled a little bit of pistachio gelato on them too. I'm gonna have fun cleaning those. And just like that, the cruise is done. I've checked out of my room, and okay, it's a little bit more comfortable for me. I checked out of the cruise, disembarked, and made my way to my hotel. I was actually very lucky. I was able to check in early because it's only 10:30 into my hotel. So yeah, very nice. Able to use the bathroom, put my stuff away, and then kind of come back whenever I want. I don't have to come back at any certain point to check in, which is amazing. I think you can hear the cold has really set in. I really felt it last night. I couldn't fall asleep. I ended up waking up and taking some Tylenol before going back to bed. And yeah, this morning it was like really hard to wake up. We're in my hotel room. This is actually so funny. I didn't realize it was the same brand. My parents, back on my birthday, were down in the Dominican and stayed at a Catalonia resort. And then a couple of weeks later, my friends went to Mexico, and I'm currently staying in a Catalonia hotel. They're like a Spanish brand. They have a bunch of resorts in Mexico and the Dominican, but they also have actual hotels in Spain. I don't think this is their nicest hotel, but honestly, it's pretty good. It's pretty small, this room, but like, I got the smallest room on purpose because I'm literally only sleeping here and then leaving. I guess I can show you quickly. So this is a bed. They have all of this like mural stuff, and then there's a desk and a TV, and then you have this storage thing. It's not even a full closet, but somewhere that I can put my suitcase and stuff. The bathroom actually is a pretty decent size. We got this mirror, sink, and a pretty decent shower stall. Way bigger than the shower stall on the cruise. That was tiny. So yeah, honestly, I'm pretty wiped. I'm pretty tired. It's also very hot in this room. I turned down the AC, but I think it's going pretty slowly. In both in Mallorca, but also in Barcelona. Barcelona is so humid. So while like the temperature is not necessarily like super hot, it's like you feel it. So the only thing I have planned today is at 6 p.m. I have a ticket to go to Park Güell. There's a chance of rain, which is really annoying, but yeah, that's the only thing I have planned. And I want to do some gift souvenir shopping for people. So I think what my plan idea is I might go out now for a bit, try and get some of that shopping done, and then maybe come back here in the early afternoon, kind of just have, you know, a little siesta before I go out to the park, and then come back here. It'll probably be a pretty early night. Like, I think I want to have a shower. And I did most of my packing of the suitcase. Like, I left out most of the stuff that I need today and tomorrow in my more like carry-on bags. But there's still a few things, like all of my toiletries and makeup are all combined, so I need to separate them in between the stuff that I need to put in my check bag and the stuff that I can bring on my carry-on. That's a plan. Let's see if I can buy some more cold medicine when I'm out and about later. But yeah, that's where we're at. It's the last full day. I'm so excited to go home now. My window faces a courtyard, and right across is a man. And if you were to look up, he would see me talking to my phone. It is what it is. Yes, I'm in the same spot as earlier. I went out and did some shopping. I'll show you what I got. But then I decided to go to McDonald's because whenever I travel, I at least like to go to McDonald's once, you know, see what it's like in different countries. So I had that for lunch, and then I came back to my room because my phone needed to be charged. I thought I had charged it last night, but it did not charge, and my portable charger didn't have enough battery in it either, which was fine. I came back and kind of just like lied down and scrolled TikTok for a bit. I still feel pretty tired. I only have one Tylenol left, and I think I'd rather keep it for tonight. I'm gonna try and go to the pharmacy, except for I think it's harder to get over-the-counter drugs in Spain, but we'll try. Oh, the guy just looked at me and smiled. But yeah, I'm gonna go get a coffee after this. Oh yeah, he's looking at me and smiling. That's okay. Okay, let me show you what I got. First, I got this baseball cap. I hope it fits. I think it will. This is for my brother. He really likes baseball caps. I was originally thinking of getting the Barcelona soccer team, but their logo is actually very ugly. I didn't like it. A lot of the hats were ugly, but I like this one. It's kind of like a jean material with a pop of orange. So yeah, hopefully my brother likes this one. I stopped at the grocery store and picked up some Filipinos. It's my friend's birthday coming up, and when we were in Portugal last year, she absolutely loved these. And that was also something really cute at the McDonald's. There was a Filipino McFlurries, so I took a photo of it to send to my friends. Then I got this t-shirt for my father. He loves a good t-shirt, and I like this blue color. It seems really soft, so I think it should be big enough. And then I got this for my uncle. I thought this was nice. It's a little kitchen towel, and it has a bunch of Spanish foods. Like there's a paella there and some mussels and stuff. So I thought it was nice because it's not too tourist tacky type of thing, but it's something that he can use. And then finally, I got this for myself. I have technically bought myself some souvenirs. Like I got all my pins for my jacket, and I got my skincare. But I usually always like to get a piece of jewelry too, because it's nice, because then you know, oh, grandma's now there across. Yeah, whenever I wear a piece of jewelry, it reminds me of the trip. And the same store that I got the dish towel, it was a whole like design store, and they had a bunch of really nice pieces. So I got this little gold necklace, this little icon, which all of the like stone pavers in Barcelona are this little pattern. So they call it a panot, P-A-N-O-T. So I thought it was a really nice necklace, really simple. So I got that for myself. So that is what I did. I did some shopping. And yeah, that was another reason why I wanted to come back to my room, so I can drop off all that stuff. I don't need to carry it with me when I'm going out. I'm gonna go to the pharmacy, and then I'm gonna get a coffee, and then I'm gonna go up to Park Güell because my reservation's at 6 p.m. And then after that, I'll probably have some dinner and come back. It's supposed to rain. It's like 60% chance, which is really annoying because I packed my rain jacket in my suitcase. I'm gonna have to open that up to get it out. But I kind of feel bad and guilty of just like sitting in my hotel room for a bit, but I'm tired. I don't have the energy to like walk around a bunch and do all these things and stuff. That's it for now. I'll talk to you later.